Let me start by saying sorry about the road noise, but I'm about to launch. It's a beautiful morning, smack on low tide. We're going to be fishing the rising tide, and we'll see what happens. This video, I just wanted to address a couple of matters that were raised in my last video. Specifically, that video was about fishing regulations in the A.C.T, Australian Capital Territory. Now, I'm not fishing in the A.C.T, I'm doing some saltwater fishing in New South Wales. So, what I wanted to talk about was there was a few comments made on that video about why would you need more than one or two rods. And you don't always need more than one or two rods, that's the reality. But let me just explain a couple of things about fishing in this century. So the difference between fishing rods today and fishing rods, let's say 30 years ago. Okay, so most fishing rods today are carbon fibre sticks, and they behave differently to fiberglass rods. So this particular carbon fibre stick is rigged with 8-pound line, and it's extremely so where, let me put it this way, where it bends is in the middle of the rod, and this is best suited for lures that say have trebles on them, because you're less likely to pull the trebles and you can work the lure better. On the other hand, in the same weight class, this particular rod, also carbon fibre, bends in the upper 1/3 of the rod. What's that more suitable for? Single hooks, for example, soft plastics and what have you. So to answer the question, yes, there is one. You can take one rod with you and do everything with that one rod, but you're not going to do everything perfectly with that one rod. Here's another example of a rod that bends further down the blank, and it's rigged with trebles. And the idea there is that you get the maximum use out of your lure. Now, if you're bait fishing, that's a different matter. And really, if you're bait fishing, excuse me while I set myself up, really if you're bait fishing, it's not that relevant. But in the same weight class, same brand, this is a Shimano, that was a Shimano, again, so they're both rigged with 12-pound line. You can see how this rod flexes in the top 1/3, rigged with a soft plastic. That's to get the maximum use out of it. Why would I want to do that? Well, the reason I'd want to do it is because, particularly on a kayak or in an area where you're limited in space, mucking around re-rigging is time consuming, takes away from the fishing, and can sometimes be dangerous. We've all seen pictures of people with hooks through their fingers. So the less chance you've got of re-rigging and so on, better off you are. Now, finally, an ultralight 4-pound line, and I can use it for both, although it does flex towards the top 1/3. It's a Daiwa rod, and it's rigged with a very, very light soft plastic on a hidden jig head. So what I'll be doing is I'll be taking that out on the kayak, and I won't have a soft plastic on it. So that's my quick explanation to answer a few people's questions as to why you would possibly want to take more than one rod or two rods. If you're lure fishing in the modern world, it's important, right? Another way to look at it, would you go and play 18 holes of golf, as somebody said to me recently, with a sand wedge and a pitching wedge or a pitching iron? Why would you do that? You take a bag full of however many golf sticks you've got in there, and you've got a golf stick suited for everything, every hole and every green that you're going to play. And it's no different when you're lure fishing. It's exactly the same. So it's lure specific, rod specific. So that answers that question. The next question is, there was a lot of confusion about in New South Wales what you could fish with. In New South Wales you can fish saltwater, as I'm doing today, with 4 rigged rods. I'm taking a 5th which won't have a lure on it. So 4 rigged rods is what you can use in saltwater. If you're fishing freshwater, you can take 4 rods, 2 rigged. What I would normally do is I'd take one with a soft plastic and one with a hard body, or one with a spinnerboat, one with a hard body, depending on what you're fishing for. The issue is in the ACT, they are so far behind what's actually happening in the fishing industry, and I would argue to a degree New South Wales, Victoria and everyone else's as well. The fishing industry moved on years ago. The government regulations, particularly in the ACT, were written, I think it was 40 or 50 years ago. 2 rigged rods. Or you can't even take a spare. You can't even have a spare in your car. That is very, very clear. So what I'm trying to do with this video is just to clear up a couple of the questions that came up from the other video. Again, if you haven't seen the other video, I'm going to throw a link up. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. I'm going to go and slay some fish. See yous.